Joining me today is Jenn Bell from MWAG in Muskoka. Jenn, we're going to be talking a bit about the programming being offered by you through the organization right now, and important programming that it is. We're just going to kick it right off, Jenn. Can you tell me a bit about what you're doing with MWAG right now?
Absolutely. So currently every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:30, I provide education outreach groups for women to join via Zoom to discuss topics ranging from the cycle of abuse to healthy relationships, self-esteem, how self-care, impacts of violence on women and children. They range multiple topics. Right now, I am running the groups women-led, basically. So women are coming forward with topics that they feel are relevant to them right now, especially during a pandemic, and providing the education around that. So usually we have a PowerPoint and lots of time to discuss what's happening. They share little bits of their stories, but we do keep everything confidential, and we do remind women it's not therapy group, it's educational based. And I encourage them to come. They don't have to turn cameras on, they don't have to talk. As long as they're coming and getting the information, that's what it's meant for.
Jenn, do you think with the Zoom world we're in now, that it is providing women a bit more opportunity to stay anonymous? As you said, they don't have to turn their cameras on. Maybe it provides them a bit more anonymity to be able to take part in something like this. Are you seeing maybe greater numbers?
I do find that I have women attending via Zoom. Generally, before COVID times, we were doing group in Bracebridge at the shelter, as well as one in Huntsville. So we were able to divide it. Being via Zoom, I have women coming from all over and just doing it one time a week. And I find that women are feeling a lot more comfortable doing group via Zoom first, then being able to develop their comfortability in being part of a group. And then a lot of the time, then they're opening up. Eventually cameras come on and they start talking and have some input. So I think it's a great way lately, especially during COVID, for them to get their feet wet and get comfortable.
That's interesting. I guess, as you're saying, it provides them that foot in the door to become more comfortable with the idea of getting education and eventually getting help. So is this something that Muskoka Women's Advocacy Group may continue with Zoom beyond COVID because of this opportunity to provide them with more, as I said, anonymity?
I'm really open to how the program works. If I have women in the future who want face-to-face, then I might do face-to-face as well as Zoom. I'm really flexible in working with what the women that are coming want to do.
Jenn, we talked last week a bit about Muskoka Women's Advocacy Group because of a theater organization that was partnering with you guys to talk about domestic abuse. Just at that time, we talked a bit about the numbers during the COVID pandemic, and I just wanted to reiterate, again, are you seeing more reports and more women reaching out due to the fact, is there a correlation between being stuck at home and COVID and a higher number of women experiencing these issues?
I want to say that we're still receiving calls like we have in the past. I think a lot more outreach support in terms of, what the options are. I think COVID restrictions have put a little bit of a damper on women leaving because coming to the shelter does have some restrictions. But we are still getting the calls, the support's still out there, and we still have women coming to the shelters. If not, we're able to help get them somewhere safe if they're not coming in. So, but calls are coming daily.
So Jenn, before I leave you, I just want to provide an opportunity again for any women that are watching right now that feel they might need at least education or some help. How can they get in touch with Muskoka Women's Advocacy Group?
Absolutely. So we have our website, which is www.mwag.ca, MWAG.ca. We also have Muskoka Interval House in Bracebridge, 705-645-4461. And we have Chrysalis in Huntsville, it's 705-789-8488.
Awesome. Jenn Bell, thank you very much for taking the time for sharing the great work that you are doing with MWAG. Really appreciate that. We appreciate what you're doing in this community. And again, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.